Fantastic. We have one more game to talk about this segment. Brad.
Oh.
Jazzpunk.
Jazzpunk. Hey, dude, Jazzpunk is a pretty cool game, and I guess y'all don't know much about it, but it's an indie game that I think it was at PAX. Maybe y'all saw it a little bit at PAX.
I did not.
Okay, this is a little hard to describe, but I would say it's kind of a first-person comedy game. Hey, that was well timed. It's like a first-person comedy game.
Mm-hmm.
What? It's like a first-person adventure game. You're like a spy, kind of, and you're carrying out missions.
This is not at all what I expected.
You're kind of like and it's very spy versus spy. It has all kinds of like spy movie tropes and like noir film tropes and just like references like all over the place. Mm-hmm. But it's got this real insane sense of humor where you don't just go and do your objective, you go and interact with everything in the world, because everything in the world is like some joke. It's like you're playing like Airplane or like a Monty Python sketch or something.
This is not at all what I expected from this game. I thought it was a music game.
Like, it just looks so weird because everything, like when I first saw it, I was thinking like, are these like placeholder characters or something?
Mm-hmm. This game is really, really silly.
Do you have to make up?
Like it's puns and jokes. Like I said, it's like Airplane humor. Like you'll see a moment in the video where like I go up to a phone and I start dialing numbers and like this weird little like hand comes up and I'm like, oh, that's a weird looking hand. And then when I'm done with it, like a little hand on a stick falls to the ground because apparently that's what my hand was. It's insane. Like just did you see this? It like all the voice acting is super fucking strange and like freaky.
Oh, is this the phone?
Yeah, like I say, it's like fucking everything is a joke in this game. It's like a first-person adventure game. Like even look at the footprints. Mm-hmm. They're just. It's just a really silly game. It's not super long. It's just like I think it was like a 3 or 4 hour experience. But the gameplay in this game is. And by the way, when I knocked that dude off the bridge, it was the Wilhelm scream too.
Nice.
This game, it's kind of like this meta thing where the goal of the game is to try to find all the jokes in the environment because that is the highlight here. Mm-hmm. And I go up to some random pizza and it pulls me into a mini game where I'm killing pizza people, and then all of a sudden I'm in a fucking Evil Dead reference, and
oh my god! Oh shit!
References are crazy.
The ground is made of pizza.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know what else to say besides this is a really, really silly, funny game. Like there was one moment where like I had a mission. I like it was like a side quest, and this woman was like, "Help me! There's flies in my pottery shop," and she gives you like a fly swatter, right? So you go into the shop, and you're trying to kill all these flies that are flying
around. Pizza Hut?
Yeah.
It's a pizza cabin in the woods. So you have this giant fly swatter, and you're trying to swat all these flies, but they're flying around the room, and you're just destroying all the pottery. Like, hilariously, as you're just trying to kill these flies.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That makes sense. Then you complete your mission, you kill those flies, she says thank you, and then you hit her with the fly swatter, and she's like, I'm not that kind of girl. But then you go outside and you start swatting people, and the people start turning into giant flies and flying away. All of a sudden, it's like
what the fuck is going
it's
on?
like They Live, and now you're trying to find all the people who are secretly fly people by hitting them with your fly swatter. It doesn't make any sense. This game is it's like a Starburst commercial or a Skittles commercial. You know what I mean? You know how these days like candy commercials are just strange, like non sequiturs. Like they don't even make sense. They're just weird and bizarre and.
The fire hydrant has googly eyes.
Like I said, it's like a comedy joke shop of the game, and
is that a hooker?
Yeah,
A hooker bot.
Dude. So like I come across this robot hooker
Turning you on, robot.
you gotta hear this game too, because it's called Jazzpunk, and the music in this game is so fucking good, and just like the whole sound design of this game is crazy. Like you go over to one part of the city, and then like this one tune starts playing, but it's only over in this alley, and it's just like this great tune. But you walk away, and some other track starts playing. You'll see in this video, like I come up across this jazz guy, and he's like, oh, and I take one of his coins. He's like, oh man, what's up with that? And I give it back to him. He's like, oh, thanks, man. But then I take a coin, I go over to this robot hooker, and she totally robot sexes me. It's insane. There is some like adventure gamey type elements where you have an inventory of things.
Whoa. I hope you used encryption on the robot hooker, because that's dangerous. You don't know.
I think she
what
said something
viruses
about.
she has.
No, watch this part.
She says using
There's this one part where there's this door that I have to get through, right? But it has a camera on it.
oh my god!
This door has a camera on it, and it's telling me I can't go through. I'm not the right person, right? So what I do is I grab a painting off the wall and I flip it around. It's like the Employee of the Month painting, and I hold the Employee of the Month painting up in front of the camera sensor, and it lets me through, right?
Yeah.
But I also find like a copying machine, so I go click on the copying machine, and then he sits on it, and like pictures of his butt come out. I grab one of the pictures of his butt and hold that up to the camera, and he's like, come on through, Mr. Buttsworth. It doesn't even make any sense. I don't want to spoil all the jokes. I'm just gonna do one more.
Okay.
I go into this next room, and there's a fire alarm on the wall, and I hit that, and then water starts going everywhere, fire, fire. Water goes everywhere, and then there's an ice alarm on the wall, and I hit the ice alarm, starts spraying fire out, and then I get hit by the fire, and there's for some whatever reason the GoldenEye HUD as I lose health. This entire game is just stupid slapstick jokes, silly references, and it's fucking hilarious.
Is
It's
it
kinda
fission?
It seems maybe
when I go near the fission chips, there's
it
a what's the radiation meter sound?
Geiger counter.
this kind of sounds like a little bit like, I mean, not exactly, but it has a little similarity to like the Stanley Parable, and that it's like a lot of like just
A lot
kind
of little jokes.
little
that,
jokes
kinda
one after
make
another,
it-
and some of them are kind
But
of
this
meta.
is like straight up like stick humor.
What are you doing though?
Well, you have a very simple mission, and if you go just do the mission, this area would probably take you 20 minutes at the most.
But you just
But
get
it's
so
fucking
caught up
around in the world, poking at all and finding all these jokes that are just fucking hilarious. Like you
I
get
like
side
that,
quests and
I like
side
that guy
missions.
popping out from behind the flat tree.
Yeah.
Like the tree's flat, but he keeps popping out the
it's
side.
pretty clever.
I do recommend it if you like funny stuff. But there's not much more to it. It's like this light adventure game with some adventure game elements. There's a little bit of
How much is
inventory
this?
swapping. I believe it's $15.
Okay.
And this is a game published by Adult Swim. They're really becoming
lately
like
they've
a
been putting out
respectable
some actual good games.
indie game publisher.
Yeah.
Oh, very, very early on in the game, the way you go into mission is to take missionol. And it's like these pills you take and you wake up and you're in your mission.
after taking mission.
Just again, one more joke. My mission giver, he's like, go, do this mission, take the mission all, and he's like, I'm gonna be down in my wine cellar, and he's behind a desk. All you see is like sticking up above his desk. He's like, I'll be in my wine cellar, and then you see him kind of walk down behind the desk, but you're just in this tiny trailer, and you're like, what? And then you go peek behind the desk, and he's just passed out. It's silly. It's insane.
That's pretty awesome. I honestly, I wasn't expecting this. I thought this was like a music game.
Yeah.
No, well, the music is fucking great. That's just like this other thing. So,
Well, that's clever as hell.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that. So that's Jazzpunk.